What up, though? And welcome to Lunchtime Detroit Lions Talk, brought to you by Detroit Lions on the Prowl and Lions Nation Unite. It's your boy Curt still. Today, it is Monday, March 21st, 2022. On deck for the show. Man, we have so much to talk about, but we get into the latest news and rumors. We look at the changing culture in Detroit and how the brass showed up to get up close and personal at the U of M Pro Day. You know what I'm saying? What happened out there? You had Aaron Glenn and you had big Brad Holmes in the building. And my man Coach Mike says maybe we should look at signing a veteran inside linebacker like Danny Trevathan. But before we get into all that jazz, it's time to bring in the rest of the crew for the show. Man, y'all know him, man. He is the Mr. Lonely Hearts of Michigan. My man, L. Kutos. What's up, my dude?
Why am I Mr. Lonely Hearts now?
That's where all the ladies go. They got a lonely heart. To L. Kutos.
Oh,
What's up,
word.
my dude?
Was our Proud Nation, and good morning.
And y'all know who it is, man. He is the boxing pride of Jackson, Michigan. Not to be confused with Machine Gun Mike Jones. It is who? Coach Jones, my man. What you got going on, my dude?
Hey, it's Coach Jones. What's going on, Lion fans? How y'all doing this morning?
Hey, let's get this thing started.
Right now.
Let go.
It's Detroit Lions Talk, baby.
We're going to get up, and on the way up, we're going to bite a kneecap off.
Yes, sir. We in the deep.
All right. Welcome back to the show, everybody. We are in the season of changes. What else we got changing around here, Kurt?
All right, so y'all know it's spring changing, you know what I'm saying, winter springing in the spring, but over the past week, the Lions have had several media sessions for free agent signings. Either returning players or new players alike have all said one thing, that the culture in Detroit is the reason that they signed with either back with the Lions or with Detroit. Tracy Walker said that he wants to be in Detroit because he loves the coaches and he has unfinished business with the Lions. Walker spoke about wanting to be part of the turnaround in the Motor City, but it was not just him. Charles Harris, the young fella Khalif Raymond, all of these players, and even DJ Chark coming in, they all said the same thing. They wanted to be here because of the culture. That is something that we haven't heard in a long time in the Motor City, man. People was begging to get out this thing because our culture was toxic. So I like what's going on. We talked about this, how the changing of the coaching staff with Dan Campbell and all the former players being on his coaching staff could change the culture for the better. They wanted players to be here. You have a players coach in Dan Campbell now. What do you guys think about the culture change in Detroit?
Man, I watched the DJ Chark interview, and he said, because she asked me, she said, what would bring a Southern boy up to Michigan? And he said, man, he said it's the culture. He said it's the culture. He said it's just the family experience. And he said because we were trending upward. Those things right there, like, because if y'all don't know, DJ Chark is from down south. He from that warm climate. Yeah, he from that warm climate. And they're like, why you come up here to the cold? And it's the culture, and it's the fact that the Lions are trending upward. And when you hear things like that, not from players who are in the organization, but players who coming from outside, who coming all the way down there in Jacksonville, when they say that's big. That is like a full 120 from Fatty Patty and them. So man, I'm just glad, man. I'm happy that this is a place now where, you know, Richard Sherman ain't dogging us, where Gronk ain't dogging, you know what I'm saying? Where it's like, okay, they here now. So I like it, man.
Yeah, I'll share that quote again from Big Snacks Harrison, a guy who retired to get away from us. He said that it's gonna take a little while for this organization to get through what we've been through, but he has faith in it. So just hearing that from a guy who, like you just said, Gronk was gonna retire, and what means rumors are coming here. Richard Sherman would rather stay retired than to come here. So, just hearing that, it gets me, or it makes me feel like we're headed in the right direction. I've been saying it this whole time. That's all I really wanted. Once it became obvious last year that it wasn't going to be much, I just wanted to see how this team was going to fight and if things would change. And I think that it did. And this is just another example of things actually changing around
Yeah, even Khalif Raymond was talking about like the culture and like how competitive the wide receiver room is, like, and they hold each other accountable. Like we didn't hear that a lot, especially with the last coaching staff. And to me, the coaching staff couldn't hold themselves accountable, let alone the players. It's just that
here.
their attitudes were trash. And I can't even put it on the coaching staff. I can put it on one person who was a toxic leader, and he made it so his assistants and the individuals below him could not grow. And my thing is, why would you do that when you came from that? When you came from a dictatorship type of leader in Bill Belichick, and he did you guys like that, why would you go and do that to someone else? You know what I'm saying? You're looking at the situation, and I'm like, dude, this ain't it. You ain't the one. You was never the one. I never wanted him to come here. But okay, we had what we had. But you come in, you degrade the players, you degrade your coaches, and look what you got, and look what we got in Detroit as a, just a byproduct of that. So I'm liking the way that the coaches are hold each other accountable. They hold the players accountable, and but they love on the players too. They teach them. They find out about their families. You look at how
Yeah.
Dan Campbell, he playing with the baby. They come in, he playing with, what I'm saying, DJ's little girl, and he's coming in and they're bonding with the families, not just looking at the player when they come in. Look how it was when Panay Sewell last year when he came in. They brought his family in, they bonded with his parents, and
Right.
so
Right.
on and so on. So you look at this situation, you look at how the approach is, and I like it because of the fact that you have a lot of former players. And guess what they're doing? They're treating their players how they wanted to be treated when they came in as a free agent or they were drafted to an organization. And that's changing the culture. You want to get guys in here that's going to be accountable for their actions, high character guys, high football guys, and you can take a guy who's maybe had a questionable career or done some things and make him into a better person and make him into a better player. And I think it's what Dan Campbell and company is doing here. And with the assistance of the general manager, Brad Holmes, he's not going to bring no turds, as my man Dan Campbell says, into the organization. They're going to bring
Yeah.
in good quality players with high character and make them into better, more productive football players. But the characters and the culture is changing in Detroit, man, and that is something that I really, really like to see. Now, here's the family discussion topic for today, because you cannot believe that the culture is changing. So, do you agree? Is the culture changing in Detroit? So, go ahead and drop us a comment down below. And while you're doing that, go ahead and like the video, share the video, comment on the video. We want that march to 4,000 subscribers. So, get on the bus, Gus. Get on this train, Wayne. Get on this ride, Clyde, and go ahead and join the march to 4,000 with us right here on Detroit Lions on the Prowl and be part of the Prowl Nation family. Now, my man, LL, I know he did some spying of his own this weekend, checking some things out. What's up with some big names from the Detroit Lions staff at the U of M Pro Day?
Word. So, and this,
And what?
the information that I have, thank you for that intro, Kurt, but the information I have is coming over from PattyDetroit.com. And they just talked about how during U of M Pro Day, like you said, our big brass went out there to check it out, and that's General Manager Brad Holmes and head coach, and defensive coordinator Aaron Glenn. So they just went out there to keep their eyes on defensive prospects. Of course, the big fish is Aiden Hutchinson, but there are other players that's out there as well. I don't know the word here, but shout out to David Ojabo. He got injured during his workout.
Yeah.
Did they confirm anything yet? I know that they were saying it.
Achilles.
Yeah.
Achilles.
Yeah.
Well, confirmed torn Achilles. Speedy recovery, my brother. We'll see you on the field real soon. But Aiden Hutchinson and I actually allegedly cut his workout short as well. He showed up to do the bench press. He put up 28 reps. I'm not exactly sure where that ranks amongst everybody else, but that's not bad in my eyes. I know that there were some wide receivers and stuff putting up like 25 and 27. So I'm certain that some people are going to have something to say about that. But overall, it's just that, maybe this is the spot to be. Maybe they're really targeting Aiden Hutchinson, or maybe even Daxton Hill. I really would like Daxton Hill, one of those, either the late first round pick or the second round pick, either how that goes. But they're there to look at some of those prospects. So, do you guys think that we'll be pulling away one of the Michigan players this year, or are they just there just to do their due diligence?
I think it's maybe a combination of both. It depends on how the draft falls. If they trade back, you can look at a situation where they, snag a Daxton Hill, later on if Kyle Hamilton is gone. You look at Kyle Hamilton's what his skill set is. Daxton Hill has some of the similar skill set, just not as he's not as big. Where Kyle Hamilton can play the slot, and he can play that rangy free safety. Where Daxton Hill I think he will fit in as a more aggressive, maybe a slot corner. He can play inside and outside, but I think his best position for him is playing at that slot corner in the NFL. I think his transitions. You look at his size, little right at 6 feet, so not as tall as rangy as Kyle Hamilton, but he has a good skill set that will make him a really a good player on this defense for Aaron Glenn. David Ojabo, man, that's just and that's maybe with something where he may fall. So you may look at picking him up later on in the draft for one of those compensatory picks, because he's going to fall, because at least at a minimum that Achilles injury is at least 6 months, at least 6 months. So you're looking at where that takes him, that takes you into the season where he may not be even at game speed until late in the year, or you're looking at December, maybe January, where he's even up to game speed. So all that being said, they're looking at some people. I know some guys at Michigan didn't do well in their at the combine. Gray is one of those guys. Maybe they looking at him too. Maybe because you look at what happened with a guy like AJ Parker and a guy like Jerry Jacobs, where they weren't really touted coming out of the draft, out of the combine. They were like, So undrafted free agents, they can pick up some guys from Michigan as well. But I like the fact that they did the due diligence going to Michigan and making sure they got to see up close and personal what's all the hype is with Aiden Hutchinson and some of these other players, man. And that video of I don't know if you guys saw it, man. Whoever was running that pro day, y'all got to do better with that, man. Ojabo went down, man, and y'all just moved the football and was gonna keep moving, man. You wait a minute, man. You got this guy on the field laying there. You got to do better than that. Come on, U of M. You got to do better than that. What you got to do, Mike?
You know what? I really think that they were there for a couple of reasons. One of those main reasons was to see how good Daxton Hill is. How he gets in and out of his breaks, how smooth he is, how strong he is, how quick he is, his reflexes and things like that. So they wouldn't have to waste a number 2 pick on the free safety to furthest man away from the ball. Kyle Hamilton, like I said, I know y'all big on Kyle Hamilton. I'm big on Kyle Hamilton. He's gonna be a free safety in the NFL, and that's the furthest guy away from the ball. And I don't want that at pick 2. I can't have that. I personally wouldn't want a guy that's 12 yards away from the ball at number 2. That just don't make no sense to me. But in other words, also I think Aiden Hutchinson, he also there was a little skirmish about his bench press because the coach was they said the coach was kind of helping him to get, but I think it was more of him trying to stay in rhythm of the bench press more than the coach like pulling it up. Because 28 reps isn't that bad at all for defensive end. Because like a Dominican Sue had 32 reps. So when you were defensive end, you had 28 reps. That puts you right at par, if not a little bit stronger than most defensive ends. So I think he's pretty good with that. But I don't know too much about the other Michigan players. Those 3. My condolences to Ojabo. Hopefully, speedy recovery. I don't know how long that'll take if you really want to force it. Do you just want to call, this upcoming season a wash and just rehab fully and get it out the way. But I hope they spotted some guys, maybe some later round, 4th, 5th round picks that they see. But Daxton Hill is who I think Aaron Glenn had his eyes on, and hopefully, he's seen what he's seen, so we ain't got to pick Kyle Hamilton.
Right.
Kyle Hamilton's a generational player, man. Kyle Hamilton can. I know what you're saying. I feel what you're saying, but I'd rather have a. Would you trade a slot corner for a guy like a Sean Taylor or a guy like a Ed Reed? I want an Ed Reed type player on the field, and that's what Kyle Hamilton is.
I'm that too.
But looking at the bench press, those wide receivers and those running backs putting up 25, 27, that's an anomaly. Those guys using running backs can hit up the low 20s or something like that. That's pretty good. But like what's my man Hassan Haskins putting up 27 as a running back, that's an anomaly. That usually don't happen. Yeah. So you usually don't get that. Yeah. So at 28, that's pretty good for, like Coach Jones said, for a defensive end. You're looking at that where defensive tackles, maybe offensive linemen are putting up 30, 32 reps. A defensive end putting up 28, close to 30. You're in the ballpark. You're a little above average, actually.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Right. So, we looked at the big brass taking a trip up to Ann Arbor to check out some prospects. If you like that content, of course, like this content, share it with other people, send it to your friends, please. Help us on that march to 4K. If you need some Lions gear, go ahead and run over to lionsontheprowshop.com. Also, don't forget the Fanatics link as well. Help us out. Some of those proceeds go to help us right here on this show and help us get this content to more Lions fans just like yourself. But next up, we got some news and rumors from our resident D-line coach, and that's Coach Mike. What you got for us next, man?
Hey, so we're gonna take a look at a inside-outside linebacker named Danny Trevathan. Danny Trevathan, who was a Pro Bowler 2015, and who signed a pretty good contract coming from the Denver Broncos with the Chicago Bears. Is a pretty good linebacker. He suffered an injury last year, which I think will make him, that discounted price. But we just don't, and the reason why I want to bring Danny Trevathan is because we don't have any experience at linebacker. I mean, we have. I'm gonna bring up these linebackers here. We have Alex Anzalone, who last year was actually his first year as a starter. As a full-time starter, last year was his first year. Charles Harris, Romeo Okoro, Austin Bryant are most likely going to go back and put their hand in the dirt in that 4-3. So we have Derek Barnes, Anthony Pittman, Devontae Beckett, Sean Deion Hamilton, Josh Woods, Rashad Berry, Curtis Bolton, Julian Okoro. I think Julian Okoro is probably the one guy who will be outside linebacker. I don't think Julian Okoro is going to put his hand in the dirt. I think he's more versatile enough that he can use his athletic features more as an outside linebacker. But when you just list, I'm just gonna keep it real. When I read those names, Anthony Pittman, Alex Anzalone, Devontae Beckett, Sean Deion Hamilton, Josh Woods, Rashad Berry, I'm just not excited. You know what I'm saying? I'm not. So I'm just gonna be honest. Like, it's time for us to kind of, get out of that honeymoon phase that we all be into in the off season where man, I like this, I like that, and be for real, like, I don't like it. So, but Danny Trevathan is a guy who has experience playing inside and outside. He's a guy who, much like Kyle Vanden Bosch, can come here and teach these guys how to play linebacker. Because Alex Anzalone is he's not a downhill linebacker. He's a coverage linebacker. And right now we have him slated as the Mike linebacker. That's just not gonna fly. Okay, that's not gonna fly. His instincts is to jump into coverage and not to downhill go with the ball and attack. And Dan Trevathan can come in and show a guy like, Derek Barnes and show Josh Woods how you play downhill and how you meet these guys in the hole and how you make plays around the line of scrimmage. And I just think Danny Trevathan is a very good guy, and also Mark DeLeon. His association with Mark DeLeon is also something that I think will be very, very good here in Detroit. Very complimentary. So I don't know what you guys think about that, man.
DeLeon ain't here no more, so I don't know.
I mean, yeah, I forgot. Yeah,
he's not here anymore. The only thing with him is that I think signing Danny Trevathan would take us in the opposite direction of what the Lions are hollering on. How the Lions are trying to build this team. They're trying to get younger. Trevathan's 31. He'll be 32 soon. So I think they're trying to look to get younger. So that's why they may be looking for a middle linebacker in the draft, where you can team him up with a Derek Barnes, put him on the outside, and put, like you said, Julian Okwara on the outside. You can have a rotational pieces. But if you look at I don't think that's where they're going to go. I'm not saying that they're not.
Right.
Because I ain't Brad Holmes, so I don't know that dude. I mean, he ain't on my cell phone or nothing like that. So, but I think that the way that they're trying to build it is they're trying to stack veterans at the depth level and bring in younger players to be starters. If you can get what I'm saying, like they want that young guy to be a starter or at least be that second in rotation. So I think a lot of the younger players are going to be starters this year. They're going to start moving guys up and then moving the guys or the depth, that pieces, that veteran piece, to start moving them back into a depth role. So I don't think they're going to. I'm not saying that he's not a viable player, because Danny Trevathan is a viable player. I mean, you look at the Lions moved on from Jalen Reeves-Maybe. He signed in free agency last week, so he's not an option for the Lions to bring back. So it could be. I don't know. What do you think, LL?
Real quick, who do you sign with, Kurt?
Texans.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, farewell, JRM. But Danny Trevathan, maybe I'm not mad at why you say that. Like, I get exactly why you say that, but I'm with Kurt. I think he may just be a tad bit too old, but who knows? Maybe he's worth paying to come in and teach somebody. We'll see though.
What happened to the last old dude we brought in? He was walking around getting coffee during the game.
And I want to say this too. One of the last names we should be mentioning in Detroit is Kyle Vandenbosch. By the way, Kyle Vandenbosch was terrible here.
No, Kyle Vandenbosch was here. He played a role on his team, and that was no, he didn't. He wasn't.
He was horrible.
You talking about Mr. Red Eyes himself?
No, he was god awful. Any word of contact, that's stupid. Man,
I think you forget that Kyle Vandenbosch was showing these guys the motor that you needed to play. He was one of, and two, he did make plays. I mean, he wasn't like the all-star because he was like long in the tooth, but he showed these guys how you go after the ball, the intensity, what you need. He helped Ndamukong Suh. Like, I mean, if you really want to look at it, Ndamukong Suh, he showed him like the motor that you need to play in the NFL. And
Trey Flowers a red contact.
Trey Flowers is horrible.
Trey Flowers.
And so is Kyle Vandenbosch. He said
Trey Flowers with red contacts.
I'm gonna leave that debate for another day.
I'm not messing with you, man.
No, I'm not either. I'm not
messing with you, man.
Nah.
If you like the content, like the video, share the video, comment on the video. You know how we say it all the time. But check us out on Lions Nation Unite. Y'all know the app, baby. It's your one-stop shop, the ultimate virtual hangout for Detroit Lions fans. You can check out your favorite content creators, right there in the app. And you don't have to leave the app. You can play their content right there and check us out over there. We're all over there hanging out. If you want to follow us on your other social media platforms, follow the crew. Check out the links for us. I just posted some vacay pictures on my Instagram. So go ahead and check that thing out over there on Instagram. Follow the crew on your favorite social media platforms. Now it is time to go to my favorite segment of the show. It's time for us to do what? Zip our lip and talk about what you had to say on the last show. It's time for the comment cards, baby. All right, first up, I got Mark M saying, I give our free agent signing a B+. We didn't take any significant long-term risk on big contract Tracy Walker deal was great value and then it's on an ascending player. We're in a good place to get the best player available in the draft. Brad Holmes is building this team the right way. And P.S. FTP, baby. We always FTP right here on Detroit.
All day, every day.
Every day.
Yes, Mark. I agree. FTP. RV Jackpot says B- to A-. Would have liked to get a linebacker, but maybe in the draft. There you go, Coach Mike.
Yeah, they know that, man. Come on, man. I know what I'm talking about. I'm a guru. I'm playing with you.
Just
not Danny Trevathan.
No, I mean, maybe not. I'm just saying he was an option. Cassandra Braden says, Coach Mike Jones, I disagree with you. Carolina is not trading up to number 2. They don't even have a second or third round draft this year. We're going to draft an offensive lineman at 6. Oh, they're gonna, okay. Their coach is in the hot seat. It's win now or get fired, and drafting a QB for the future would not be smart. But Matt Rule has to win this year. Cassandra, I don't know if you've been looking at what's been going on, but they are on every quarterback that's free has a trail to Carolina. Like Matt Stafford, you know what I'm saying? Matt Stafford had a Carolina was a big player in that. Deshaun Watson, Carolina was a big player in that. They are not happy with Sam Darnold. And if you are on the hot seat, you better not hold your future on Sam Darnold. Okay. That's so I think
be smart.
Yeah. So I mean, I'm not trying to disagree with you openly, but I'm disagreeing with you openly, man.
I will agree because I lived out here in Carolina. The offensive line is a big concern down here. That is a really big concern down here. Their defense is stout, but that offensive line is. I think they're going to take an offensive lineman and maybe get one of those quarterbacks if they're available. Late in the first round if they don't pick up a free agent quarterback. Because you're right, Coach Mike. Sam Darnold, that dude is not it. He is not the one. And I believe the fans in Carolina would tell him, like we would tell other players, if you see me on the street, don't say nothing. The Ronin 99 says the gap between could be made up easily with trades, but you could also take the first 5 picks and flip those into potentially 6 to 8 or 9 picks in the top 100. And that's a thinking emoji and the thumbs up emoji. And then I was typing this as Coach Jones was talking. And then that's the laughing emoji. So you can flip it. I mean, you look at a lot of pundits, especially some of the Detroit Lions media guys that cover us, either fan media or actual, traditional media are saying that they would like the Lions to trade back. Pick up some more picks for what the capital and trade out that number 2 pick. Let the whoever gonna reach at number 2 and get even more capital for this year. I mean, we'll see, but I get what you're saying. I feel you, baby. What you got, LL?
Yeah, Christopher Sajewski, if I pronounced that right, says. Sorry about that. C+, but you have to add some talent at some point. I agree, and I believe that the talent is coming, Chris.
I think it's going to be the draft. I think it's what they're going to do. They're going to want young talent in the draft, and they're going to have those veterans, except for like Tracy Walker, are going to be rotational pieces. Not that I think. What you think, Coach Jones?
I think so too, man. The draft is where we're going to add a lot of that talent. I just think re-signing those key players is key. So, we'll see what it is, man. Lyle Schultz says B+. He was referring to the grades that we were giving the offseason moves, and it's a B+ if you're strictly on the Lions. If you're concentrating on what the Lions are doing, the people that we're re-signing and stuff like that, then B+ is a generous to fair grade. So yeah, man. Lyle Schultz, I feel you.
Right. So thank everybody for those comments. Of course, leave those comments throughout the show. Respond to the family discussion topic. Leave all those comments. We'll pick 6 of them to go on to the next show. But sliding from Curt's favorite segment to Curt's segment, and that is the Dessert with our man Curt. What do you got for us today, Curt?
Hey, Desserts with your man Curt is brought to you by Delightful Bites, custom cookies and desserts for any occasion. Delightful Bites, get your cookie on. All right, so shout out to one of our Detroit Sports Alliance brethren, my man, the heavyweights over there. My man, Speak Easy Sports Podcast and Woodward Sports. Got a chance to sit down with the one, the only Aiden Hutchinson. Man, that's a big deal for guys
Yeah.
like us to do what we do and get an opportunity to sit down with one of the top prospects in the draft. And I'm like, man, that's pretty big right there. You got to give a shout out
Let's
to your
go.
boys who's doing some good stuff that do what you do. And my man was out there and he did a very good job interviewing Aiden Hutchinson. Shout out to my man Easy for doing his thing, and it was an excellent job, man. He said that Aiden Hutchinson, he said how you see him in the interviews is how he is. He said he's a down to earth dude. He's got a high motor and he loves football. And he said he's just a true dude. So, and that's pretty big because we know if you know Speak Easy, he's a huge Michigan State fan. So for him to give props to a U of M dude, that's a pretty big deal. And I would like to sadly, just acknowledge the death of a NFL media just titan. I mean, this dude was on ESPN. He was the guy who was showing Adam Schefter and Rappaport how to do the thing. Man, his name
John Clayton.
John
Clayton.
John Clayton passed away this weekend, man. That's crazy. 67 years old.
Yeah.
Had one of the best This Is Sports Centers commercials ever when he was down in the basement and he took off his the suit jacket top and had on a Slayer shirt and had a ponytail. But John Clayton, the professor, man, this condolences to his family. You know, his life lost his wife a few years ago to MS, but to see him that was just all of a sudden, man. John Clayton was one of the best guys to ever do it out there, man. I even listened to him, continue to listen to him when he was on NFL radio on Sirius XM after he left ESPN. So condolences again to John Clayton and his family. But now it's time for the final thoughts for today's show. My man, LL Cool Tones, what you got, my dude?
We doing the Wall of Fame today?
I got to do the Wall of Fame. Thank you very much, man. And I got a nice new name on the Wall of Fame today. Okay. So let's take a walk on over to that Wall of Fame. Thank you, my man, LL, for making that correction on the brother. Bronze members, we got my man, Detroit dude. We got Crystal Wiley, Bubba Bo, John Kapler, David Anderson. What's up, Q? Chano the Insano, and Bob Korowski rounds out our bronze members. In the silver members, we got Nomas J. We got Batman of the 313, Mr. Scotty the Bear, the Frenchman, Baguettes, and all that. Shannon Peck, Henry Wallace, and Gold Lions. And in our gold members, we got Michael Huck, Larry McQuiston. We got my man Turner C. Burley hanging out with us, Miles Gibbs, Randall Flag 606, Dominic Davis, and I cannot mention this young lady changed her name. She is now Lionor of Douchebagia.
What's going on, Kurt? What's going on, Kurt?
I don't know why they changed their name to Lionor Douchebagia, but I met her in the Gold members last week, man, and she is a trip, man. Shout out to Nicole over there, man, hold it down. North End King and the Dr. Detroit, he is always in to become a member of the Wall of Fame. Click that join now button down in the description. Now is the time for final thoughts for today's show. My man LL, what you got, my dude?
Final thoughts on this Monday. I'm glad that other people are noticing that things are changing around here. That's all I've really been wanting, and it seems like we're getting there. More talent is on the way. Better things is on the way. And I remember being told, because all this stuff about Deshaun Watson, I just remember people telling me why it wouldn't work. It wouldn't work because of the climate. It wouldn't work because of this. It wouldn't work because of that. And look at what Cleveland did. I know they went above and beyond what a lot of people were willing to do. But they were able to get him, even though it was speculated that he was going, he wanted to go to the South team and things like that. But, whatever, we didn't get him. I'm okay with that. I'm genuinely interested to know, though, if we actually made an offer.
I'll let you know right now.
Yeah.
What you got, Coach?
I'm gonna switch the whole narrative right now. Shout out to my man Chris up at Delta Dental. Michigan Wolverines. We's in the Sweet 16, baby. You know what I'm saying? We Sparty. Oh, y'all lost, didn't y'all? Ohio State. Oh, y'all lost, didn't y'all? Illinois, y'all lost. Wisconsin, y'all lost. Okay. Notre Dame, y'all lost. Wow. Everybody, you know, because I heard a lot of talking, a lot of, oh, Michigan don't deserve to be in there. They this and that, you know, and I worked in Okemos, so you know that how they was, how, you know, they all just spartied out. I seen the green. Oh, it's St. Patrick's Day and all that. Listen, man, I told y'all about the Wolverines, man. I told you we here. I told you Juwan Howard ain't gonna play that. Y'all know he'll hit a smackdown. So that's so for everybody here who is a Michigan Wolverines fan, y'all know what it is. Go blue.
Yeah, for real. And congratulations to Juwan Howard and those guys. And as much as you made the video of him hitting the smacking the dude from Wisconsin, a viral video. Make sure you look at him with the video when he's consoling the young man from Tennessee, and he's
exactly
grew up with his son and
right.
was consoling him. You know what I'm saying? Just look at that. You know what I'm saying? Make that viral, and it has. So Juwan Howard. This goes to show you that don't just look at one thing and change the whole narrative about a coach, because I mean, we see who he is, and we know who he is. Michigan fans know who we are, and who he is. So, take that and make that go viral, man. Because congratulations to Juwan Howard and the Michigan Wolverines basketball team for making the Sweet 16, man. That's what's up, Dick. And they were 6-point underdogs to Tennessee. So, they went ahead and did that thing down there, man. And I hope they go ahead and knock off Villanova next week. But as far as the Lions are concerned, looking at the culture, I'm liking what I'm seeing. I'm liking how, it's one of those things where you're going to look here in the near future where Detroit is going to be a destination for free agents, because they're going to want to come and play for our coaching staff and how our culture has changed. And we're going to be one of those destinations, even though they want to come up here. Like Danny Rogers said, come up to the cold north and play for a coaching staff that has a great culture, and that your coaches care about you and they're going to teach you the right thing to do, as a lot of those former players have done. So with all that being said, man, it is Monday. The grind starts today. I want you to do something for me, man. If you're feeling overwhelmed, take a deep breath, relax yourself, get back to work if you need to, because sometimes you can overwhelm yourself when the grind gets too heavy. I don't want nobody getting too overwhelmed with the grind. Just take a break, look at yourself, man, and then, okay, all right, now I know what I need to do, so you can refocus and get the job done. But as always, man, you know what you got to do. Yeah, it's Monday. You just finished your lunch. Crumbs off your face. Finish your drink and get back to work, baby. And whatever you're doing in life, you got to boss up, ball out, and be the best version of you that you can be. For my fellas, LL and Coach Mike, this is Curt Steele, and we will holla at you real soon. We love you, Jim.